I'm going to teach you a superpower, an ability that puts you beyond what other people have. And we can see it from the Parsha. The ability is called metacognition. Metacognition is cognition, right? Our brain's ability to process things, but greater, bigger. Meta is beyond, above. Now, it comes out of our Parsha in a certain way. Is something you want to say? You look like you want to say something.
No, something came into my mind and it's the wrong time.
Okay, it's related to what we're talking about. Because what we're talking about over here is perceptual positions. When you have the ability to see things through somebody else's eyes, that's when you have metacognition. It's one of the aspects of metacognition, and that's when things change. People usually don't have that ability. It's very hard to get there. What are you thinking now? Thinking about that?
No.
You're in your position and you're moving along it. How does this have to do with the Parsha? In the Parsha, Parshas Balak, right? Balak, Bilam. Bilam is the main character of our Parsha, the main person in our. I actually don't like the word character because it sounds like it's not real. Bilam, we actually have the archaeologists will also agree. Like everybody agrees, Bilam. We know we have a Bilam. Even if you don't believe in the Torah, you believe in Bilam. Why? Because we have an external piece of evidence that mentions Bilam. There's an inscription, an ostraka, that mentions Bilam from 3,500 years ago, about the time of that this happens. The story in the Torah. It was found in Jordan and in a place called Sukkot. No, it's an inscription. There's a temple, and they wrote on the wall, Bilam, son of Beor, the divine seer. He had an ability to see. He could see greater things. He could see beyond. Now, so he has the sight, right? Does he have metacognition? No. He doesn't, a person with metacognition, a person which is more conscious. He knows, he can feel what's around him. He can feel what other people are thinking about him. He feels divine things. He feels spiritual things. So he has an aspect of metacognition, but he doesn't have an ability to look at himself. That's what it looks like. What do we see in the Parsha? Balak, king of Moab, comes to Bilam and he says, I need you to curse the people of Israel because we're going with the nuke, with the atom bomb. And that's the equivalence of the atom bomb. We're going to drop an atom bomb on them. One curse from Bilam. They say Bilam exactly knew how to mechavan the itim, how to work the exact point when God is angry. There's one moment when God's angry, he knew how to do exactly that. I did this with my fingers subconsciously because it says that the chicken, right, the rooster, right, he has the red, what do you call the red thing on his head or the red underneath? So it turns white for a carbon. It turns white for a few seconds for that or that millisecond when God is angry. And that's Bilam at the exact same time. Yesterday I called my brother, Yehuda, and he's always busy. He says, I'm actually driving now. I have time to talk. I'm like, I was mechaven es ha'idin. He said, you're just like Bilam. But then he said, there must be something psychological, right? He's going to be a psychologist. There must be something psychological behind what I said. So I said, well, not for sure, because I don't know anybody else who knew how to get the precise moment. We have one person that it says that he knew the precise moment. Who else knew precise moments in all of Judaism and all of Torah? It doesn't come to mind. Maybe if I pull out Gemini, I'm going to find something else. But Bilam comes straight to mind. So it's not something like it's not like he went to the dark side. It's an example from the dark side. But that was also metacognition, his ability to doubt himself. That's also part of it. You're not in the moment. You can step out of your position. That's the beauty of metacognition. That's the beauty of being more conscious. And that's what we want. We want to strive to be more conscious. And Bilam didn't really have that, because Balak says to Bilam, I'm going to give you a lot of money. You want a lot of money? Go curse Am Yisrael. And so he starts going. So he starts going with Balak, and then Hashem comes to him and he says, "No, don't do it." So he's like, "No, but I really want to." And then eventually Hashem says, "If you want, Hashem comes to him again and he says, if you want to do it, you want to do it, and you can go." And he let him go. Hashem lets him go, and it's an interesting thing. Bilam then goes, but Bilam, you don't see that he has this conscious moment. He has this mule, right? His donkey, his ass, that's pushing his foot against the wall, because she can see, right? It's a female donkey. She can see an angel of God in front of her, and she's shoving him against the wall because he's moving into this angel. It's a scary. Some angels are nice and friendly. This angel was an angel that was not so friendly. And so she could see it. He couldn't see it. He didn't have a lot of good. So he's just hitting her. He's in his moment. You're upsetting me. Just go straight. You don't see that Bilam has a lot of this ability to look beyond. He has a spiritual aspect, but he doesn't have he's not very conscious of what goes on around him. And maybe, if his mule is pushing his leg against the wall, then maybe it means something. Now, there's another interesting aspect. Why I decided to speak about metacognition in this parsha is because of a Gemara in Baba Basra, Daf Tezvav. The Gemara says that Moshe Rabbeinu wrote the 5 books of Moses, Chumash, and Parshas Balak, Parshas Bilam. It says Bilam over there. He wrote our Parsha. Why does it say that, Ma'am? Why would it say Moshe Rabbeinu wrote the whole Torah and Bilam? Bilam is in the Torah.
And Bilam also wrote
Also the Parsha of Bilam.
Maybe people would say that Bilam
Hashem told him the letters.
Yeah.
And then Prophet Bilam maybe wrote it himself on his own, and he knew exactly what he's writing.
Nice.
That's interesting. The reason is that how would he know? How would Moshe Rabbeinu know about Bilam? He never met him. This is the one parsha out of all how many parshas are there? I think they're about 54. No, I think there's more than that. We have a lot of doubles. We have times that we don't read the Torah, but I think it comes up to 54 around. This is the one parsha where Moshe is not there. Aaron already passed away. Miriam also. It's the one parsha where you don't have any Jew. There are no Jews in the parsha. They are Jews, but from a distance. Because the story is about Bilam. The story in 3 sentences. Bilam comes with Balak brings Bilam. He looks down at Am Yisrael. Am Yisrael is at the bottom. He looks down from this hill. He brings sacrifices, tries to curse them, blesses them. Goes to the next hill, looking at them from here, tries to curse them, blesses them. Goes to this hill, he does it 7 times. That's it. That's your parsha in a few sentences. There's no Jews in the parsha. They're only from a distance. It's a different position. It's not a person telling a story. I saw things. Exactly what you said, exactly, but the opposite. Yes?
Okay.
What? Right. We have very good psukim. We have Am Kelavi Yakum. Am Kelavi. The first operation Israel did in Iran. And we have a lot of good things. We have a lot of stuff about Mashiach. Darach Kochav Miyakov. Rabbi Kiva said that Bar Kochva. There's a lot of amazing things. When he comes to curse and he blesses, those are the best blessings. There's a certain way when you come to do one thing and it flips, the flip side is actually much more holy. להתהפך, להפך.
כי הקללה הייתה צריכה להיות כל כך קשה, וזה מתהפך, וצריך את הברכה שיהיה מאוד... להפוך.
Oh,
Adina said like in math.
okay.
Adina said like in math. אם זה 20,
Yeah.
נהיה מינוס 20, זה ממש רחוק מהאפס.
Right, right. When it's times and it's a minus, the flip makes it even further. Now, okay, if we... So in any situation, we have a few positions. I want to tell you a story. There was, maybe I told you the story before. There was a father. His son had gone to the army. And he gets a telegram from his son. And it says, Father, it's very short. Father, boots tore, dear father, boots tore, get new boots. Give money. He wants money to buy boots. And the father sees this and he says, what a chutzpah. What a disgraceful son that doesn't have, is a kfui tova, he doesn't have any ungrateful son. Why is he saying, Father, give me money, my boots are broken? He decided to bring this to the rabbi to show his rabbi. And the rabbi looked at it and he's like, oh, what a sweet boy, such a sweet boy, dear father. Dear father, you know, you pay for a telegram. The telegram, not the app telegram, right? The telegram that you sent once that you have to kind of hit the button a few times. It's every letter costs money. And he pays for dear father because he cares for you so much. And then the way he saw this flipped. He went from one position to another position. It doesn't have to be first position and second position. In NLP, we know about perceptual positions. Emdot tfisa. Position number one is me out of my own eyes. The way I see you, me here, this is position number one. Position number two is you out of your eyes. I'm thinking what you're thinking. Let's say if I have a fight with somebody, what I need to do is try and understand how does he see it. And third position is a fly on the wall. It's somebody which is outside of the story. So what's Bilam? What's Balak?
A fly on the wall.
I did think they were a fly on the wall. They're not a fly on the wall. Fly on the wall means I have nothing in this. I don't have any stake in this game. It doesn't have to do with me. But they're not a fly in the wall. Because Balak wants him to curse, and Bilam wants to do what Balak said because he took money. So they like, it's, I would call them second position because they hate Am Yisrael and they're trying to cause problems to the people of Israel. So it's
Man, there are a lot of people.
right. We have many eyes, but we're looking at it from a distance.
Fly on the wall while he was watching.
Balak turns right. The Zohar says Balak turned into a bird at the beginning and he flew up. It does say that. It does say that, but no, he's not. He wants them to be cursed. Okay, he has a horse in this race. He's not looking from the outside. He's looking against. But you can have many positions. NLP teaches 1, 2, 3. There's actually position number 4 is kind of is a more advanced thing, is to see things from above. Imagine you weren't alive. Imagine you're beyond. It's like beyond existence. It's a very cool thing. When I did the ketamine journey, when I learned to be a ketamine assisted psychotherapist, so I went beyond existence. You get to a place where you feel like you're beyond. It's beyond anything. It's a very cool kind of. So that's kind of how fourth position. It's something I never fully grasped. But the idea is to go beyond. If you just sit over here, right? Let's do a short exercise. You can imagine yourself. I can see myself over here. Imagine what you can see around. Now, keep your eyes where they are, and imagine you can see another meter beyond. Imagine you can see another meter beyond that. Imagine it's getting wider and wider. You have this like circle of the place that you're conscious of, and your consciousness is growing, 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 and it can fill this whole room. The consciousness filling the whole room. Now go beyond this whole building, beyond all of Beit Shemesh, beyond all of Israel, and beyond the whole world. And from this position, look at your problems, the things that bother you, things you're worried about. Notice how insignificant it is from this position. You can take a few big breaths and slowly, slowly allow yourself to come back. Allow your consciousness to come back, float down and back into your body. How was that? Yeah, you guys went in nicely. And how do your problems look from up over there? Minuscule. It's a superpower. That's a superpower. The ability to do what we just did. The metacognition. That's going to the fourth position, which is amazing. Third position is a fly on the wall. Fourth position is a satellite in space. It's the beyond the beyond. It's an interesting thing, the way we understand things, the way we understand our lives. A lot of times in LP, when you want to go back to a person's earlier traumas, you go back. I did this many times when I was in the course, and I did it with clients of mine. Go back to when you were a kid and your teacher slapped you, that it was terrible. Go into the teacher's mind, see things out of the teacher's eyes. How does it look now? That's a little different, right? It's very hard to do. You have your mind doesn't want to allow you to do that. It's an interesting thing I was thinking about. With this ability, you can doubt and think about things that you already know. Maybe you've learned them differently. That's a very interesting thing. It's an interesting thing. For example, I like to see Al Jazeera. Al Jazeera is a pro-Arab channel. They're anti-Israel. And I like to see how they speak about 1948, the War of Independence. They don't call it the War of Independence, they call it the Nakba. From the Arab point of view, you know, there are Arabs up here on the hill, and they had to take their stuff and run away because they heard the Jews are coming. What's with that family that was up here on the hill? Right, you go, you see the water system, you see where the water was, you see you can see the walls of where their house was, but they're not here anymore. It's an interesting thing to be. It develops you a lot to allow yourself to be much more flexible with your thought. And I can give you another example, maybe a less comfortable example. By the way, we're going towards Shivat Sabat Tammuz. It's going to be the 17th of Tammuz coming up this week. And we're going to be fasting and remembering some of the bad stuff that happened to Am Yisrael. It's an interesting thought I was thinking about the Holocaust, how we learn the Holocaust. Do you know that the way our understanding of the Holocaust was built is a fascinating thing, just the beginning of it. Nobody knew about the Holocaust in 1945. I mean, they knew a lot of Jews were killed. Nobody understood the magnitude, how the Nazis, went after every single Jew, how it was orders that they had. Nobody really understood that. It was like there were so many atrocities that they had done. And when they were doing the Nuremberg trials, when they were trying the heads of the Nazi party that could still get their hands on, because a lot of them committed suicide or had been killed. So in the trials, all of a sudden they started working out how significant it was for the Jews, that there was a Holocaust for the Jews. and that it was so meticulously planned, and that they had these factories of death. But the early way that history was learned, they used the German protocols. They found the Nazi protocols, they found the Nazi letters, and according to that, they worked out what had happened, how the Holocaust had happened. And if somebody came and said, I'm a survivor, they would say, tell your story to somebody else. It doesn't interest the history books. What interests the history books is the Nazi letters and the Nazi briefings and the protocols. That is, it's crazy. It's crazy that they took them more seriously. They said, he's an officer in the SS. He's very meticulous. The Nazis were very meticulous, very organized. And they wrote things down very nicely. So the historians really liked it. But the witnesses that came with testimonies, they said, no, you're traumatized. We don't accept what you're saying. And it took years for this to kind of change and to incorporate what the witnesses said. It took a lot of time. Christopher Browning writes a lot about that. He's a historian of the Holocaust. He says, you cannot experience the Holocaust without the survivors. You don't know how it felt, how it smelt, what it tasted like. You could only know that from the eyes of a witness. A Nazi commander it's a different position. And that's what we're learning over here. So when you hear Holocaust, or if you read the early way it was written, it's written from the German point of view, the Nazi point of view, the worst point of view. I'm going to be guiding Germans this coming week. I have a group of Germans who are not Jews. And, usually Holocaust things don't even come up because it's the old city. But if it would come up, I had this thought. I don't like seeing German historians that explain the Nazis, that kind of take them off the hook. That upsets me. I like when they say how the Nazis were wrong. I also like seeing Jewish historians that can explain the Nazis. Like Viktor Frankl writes, Viktor Frankl's an Auschwitz survivor. He says a lot of the SS officers were mentioned, were good people. He writes, maybe he doesn't write it ad kedei kach, but he says there was something you could see that they had a certain meaning in their life. They were cautious, they were careful, not every single one of them was a mass killer, right?
Being and cautious cause you to kill somebody. That's your meaning. I'm alive in order to kill. Why is that good?
He says he looks at the SS commanders. I think the quote is like this. Some of the SS commanders were better behaved than the Jewish capos, than the Jews that beat other Jews. What? זה בטוח. I have to look it up to find the exact quote. But to be able to be a Jew and to see it from the Nazi point of view it's a scary thing, and it kind of gives you the shivers, but it gives you also a superpower, because there's something so uncomfortable in going into that place. And if you can go into that place, then you'll be able to go into other places when your teacher hit you in school and you can't seem to take care of that trauma. You can't seem to sit down with your therapist and try and talk about that from the teacher's point of view. If you can see the Nazi point of view, you may also be able to see the teacher's point of view. You wanted to ask something? We're almost finished over there.
How did I able to see the Nazi? I can only see urban civilians.
Okay, you can't see the Nazi point of view because something happens. It's uncomfortable. Right? You have a resistance. Okay. Just know, don't force yourself to see it.
Comes after, אם אני מוכלת לעצמי במקום הזה, I could go into the other person's, let's say, אם אני מוכלת לעצמי that I couldn't take care of myself and not get hit from my teacher, and say that's what happened, like I couldn't do anything. Then I could maybe go into what the teacher had in mind. Then maybe I could say, oh, maybe
you have to forgive yourself first. Okay, I hear that.
So from all the time that the Jews were so bad.
How could I
It's-
understand
Yeah.
why they hated? Like,
Okay, it's important to understand that this is a skill. This metacognition, the presupposition, the perceptual positions is a skill. Now you're thinking about this, I'm telling you, think about it from the Nazi point of view. You're like, I can't do it. Maybe you'll do some work on yourself, and in a week or two from now, it won't hurt as much. It won't be so uncomfortable. And we want to get to a place. We don't want to get to a place where we understand them, right? Because they were awful. But there's too many terrible words I can say about them. But you want to be able to practice seeing things from the other side. That's my point. We should be zoche to get to that place where we can see things, see a broader, wider picture. And we should use it to understand other Jews.
Let's talk about